Hi everyone, I'm Julia and this behind me is Lucy. Welcome to my yoga channel. Now today we're going to be doing by request a Yin Yoga class. Now this is a very slow paced and calming type of yoga where the poses are held for a long time. They help to lengthen out the connective tissues, it increases circulation in the joints and it improves flexibility as well. Now if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe to my channel, clicking on the subscribe button, which should be down here somewhere. And if you click on the little bell symbol and click all, then you'll get notified every time I come out with new videos. So let's begin. We're going to come first into a wide-kneed child's pose. So if you have your feet and ankles, your feet together, bring your knees wider apart and take your hips back. They may come down, actually touch your heels, and let them rest back that far if yours do. My hips don't quite go back that far. Then walk your hands out in front and let your head rest down on the floor and breathe. If this isn't very comfortable for you, you can bring your hands underneath your head and just rest your head down this way, or you can make it as high as you want that feels comfortable. This is a Yin Yoga class with no props. So if you did want to use a prop, you could always put a cushion underneath you, but it's really not necessary. So we're going to be holding the pose, just breathe nice and smoothly, just letting your body relax into it. With the Yin Yoga poses, you'll find that it's a little bit harder than you think because we do hold the poses for quite a while, and it's about surrendering to the pose, just letting your body relax into it. So Yin as opposed to Yang, meaning that it's a more surrendering type of yoga rather than a lot of the pushing and pulling type of yoga that we tend to do normally. So this is a good balance to other yoga classes. Okay, ease yourself very, very gently from the pose. Always come out of Yin Yoga poses very carefully and slowly. Walk around to one side a little bit and again relax down. Again, just melt into the mat and breathe. And then easing up out of this pose, walk yourself around to the other side. Find where it's comfortable, relax down into it. Let the shoulders relax, your head relax. You can close your eyes if that feels better. And again, very gently ease yourself back to the middle. Now if you ease yourself down onto your tummy, and we're going to come into the Sphinx pose. So you have your hands out in front of you, just under the shoulders. Normally when we do a cobra or a baby cobra, we press into the mat and look up. So this time we just let ourselves relax. The shoulders come up naturally around your ears. Let your tummy muscles relax. After a few breaths, you might really feel this on your lower back. It stretches it out. Just try to breathe in it. Now we're going to come into a similar pose. Press yourself up and take your fingers to face out to the sides. So you want to have your hands, if you're using yoga mat, have them about on the edges of the mat. And again, just relax into it. This is quite an intense stretch on the lower back. In fact, it can feel quite uncomfortable, and I was so doubting of this pose that I've asked various doctors and physiotherapists, and they all say, no, it really is good for you. So stick with it if you can. Again, breathe into it. The more you relax, the more intense this pose feels. And you can see why it's called a seal pose. All I need is a ball on my nose. How are you doing? Stick with it. Okay, now we're going to go into child's pose just briefly to stretch out the spine. We've been bending it backwards, we want to bend it forward. So very, very slowly and gently. Your knees can stay just parallel with your hips this time. Ease yourself back into child's pose and let your head relax down. Again, you can bring your head on your hands if you like. Have your hands out in front. You might just like them beside your head, or some people like them back beside your feet. So this is the way I find most comfortable, but whatever works for you, relax into it. You can feel that lovely lengthening out of the lower back. Counter pose to the last two poses that we've done, the seal and the Sphinx. And ease up gently for that. We're going to come now into the pigeon pose. So if you slide one leg forward and see if you can bring the heel around a little bit of an angle. If that's too much for you, you can keep the heel in line with the thigh there. Now, if possible, slide the back leg back. Now trying to keep the hips parallel with the mat, so don't let yourself come and rock over. Find your place. If it's too much bothering your knees, don't come so far around with this foot. And then ease yourself very gently down, one arm at a time, and let your head rest on your hands or on the floor, whatever feels right for you. And again, breathe into it. If it starts bothering your knee, then bring the leg behind you, the foot behind you, so that it's not such an extreme pose. So find the variation that works for you, breathe into it. Very, very gently ease up, walk your hands back, take that leg back. You might want to just stretch it out for a moment behind you, and then we'll swap over to the other leg. So slide your leg forward. Again, all those options, you can keep it in line with the thigh. If you can, bring it a bit of an angle, slide the leg behind you back, keeping the hips parallel with the mat, and then walk yourself down one arm at a time and bring your head down. If you like, you can have your head on your hands or on the floor. Relax into it. You may well find that one leg is more flexible than the other, or one hip, and you'll find that you can go a little bit further one side than the other, and that's perfectly normal. Most of us aren't totally balanced because we tend to be one-handed, right, or left-handed, one-legged, and when we do a lot of activities, especially sports, we tend to use one side of the body more than the other. Any racket sports, for example. So just accept it wherever your body gets to and feels that lovely stretch. Just relax into it. Melt into it, feel that stretching out of the hip. Up very gently, walking your hands back, release that leg. You might want to stretch it out behind you, press into the heel and bend and stretch it a few times. Now we're going to come over onto our backs. So roll yourself over, lower yourself down very gently and hug in one knee, holding it here. And hug in the other knee, very gently. Now we're going to do some twists, so have your hands to the side, legs slightly apart, and just let your knees flop over one way. So you'll notice the knees are apart, they just fall over to the side, relax. And then slowly ease the knees up, keep the feet where they are, just let them flop over to the other side. Your knees just flop over to the other side. This is one of my favourite Yin Yoga poses. It just feels so relaxing, so nice on the lower back. And then bring the knees back up. We're going to go into the happy baby pose. So if you bring your feet up, grab them. You can hold the inside or the outside of the feet, doesn't really matter what works for you. Bring the knees down either side of your chest so the feet are up towards the ceiling. You can close your eyes, just rock back and forth a couple of times. And then settle into the pose. our final pose is Shavasana. So ease yourself out of this. You might want to hug your knees and gently rock side to side a couple of times first. And then very slowly stretch your legs out along the floor. Have them just a comfortable distance apart and let the feet naturally flop out to the sides. Adjust your back so you're comfortable. Close your eyes and rock your head side to side a couple of times before finding a comfortable place to relax your head and just feel yourself melting into the mat, totally relaxed, all worries gone. Very gently bend your knees one at a time. Hug them into the chest one at a time. And again rock very gently side to side. And then allow yourself to roll all the way over onto one side. Just rest here a moment. Take a couple of deeper breaths. I hope you've enjoyed this class. Press yourself very slowly now all the way back up to sitting. And sit in any pose you feel comfortable with a straight spine. Take a couple more breaths here. And then inhale, reach overhead. And exhale, stretch all the way down. Namaste, everybody. If you haven't done so, please do subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.